I'm Mark Edwards. Welcome to Travelogue and welcome to Wuyuan County. A hidden gem buried within Jiangxi province in the middle of China. Over the next half hour, you're going to discover a land that's filled with tiny traditional Chinese villages and blessed with magnificent countryside. Calling all nature lovers, amateur photographers and architectural aficionados. It's time to continue village hopping, food tasting and countryside rambling. If you're going to be honest, it's highly unlikely that you would have heard of the magnificent rural county of Wuyuan, but allow yourself to be entranced by this hidden Chinese treasure. Wuyuan is famous for many things, and one of these is the green tea that they produce. We're on our way to another village when we come across a beautiful tea plantation overrun by children picking tea. So I'm here on a glorious morning in Wuyuan County, where I've been dropped off at a small tea plantation. And you might be mistaken for thinking it's actually a children's playground, because they're actually running away from me. I'm going to see if I can go and have a chat with the kids who are playing around. But hello. Every spring, the fresh tea is ready to be harvested. And before you scream child labour laws in horror, relax. Remember, these kids are on a field trip. They've just explained to me that actually they've come here for fun, but it's also a school exercise, so it's like a field trip to come here and pick tea. They said they're having fun, but they think they're going to be a bit tired by the time they have to leave at about 2 or 3 o'clock. So I might try and give them a hand anyway. Personally, I think it's a great idea. A few hours in the sun picking tea and feeling a million miles from the classroom. You can also catch up with your friends, and especially try to avoid some pesky TV presenters. All the kids love me, yay! Anyway, it's time to go village hopping once again. Next destination, Cixi. Well, I'm here in the sleepy village of Cixi, and I say sleepy. Normally speaking it is, but at the weekends it's overrun by tourists who come here from the surrounding region to come and check out what's fun in this village. From the great outdoors to traditional Chinese villages, Cixi is definitely one of the must-see sights in Wuyuan. You pay your 20 RMB fee at the gate, and you can stroll into anywhere within the village. Try out as many houses as possible, and you will be greeted with something new in each one. I reckon it's time to explore. Food, glorious food. However, I do think it would be a bit off to start munching away when I haven't even visited any of the houses yet. But there is more food to come, I promise. I take my chances in this place, which could almost be a room from a museum. Except that here, the owner will eagerly show you his prized possessions and go to great lengths to explain them in detail. Top of that list is his collection of the 8 mighty masters made out of porcelain. You'll have to fork out another 2 RMB to see these, as they are preserved antiques. To give you an idea, Cixi is slightly less crowded than Xiaolikeng, which you might remember from the last episode. Do expect crowds, however, as Wuyuan's name is famous around China. Therefore, people from all over the country tend to flood the sleepy county at weekends and during public holidays. Masters accepted, a lot of the things on display are for sale. They may not all be ancient relics, but with a touch of tradition, they make for perfect souvenirs. I take a good snoop around so as not to miss anything in this mini museum. Many of the villages in Wuyuan actually have set routes for you to follow, so don't worry if you get lost. There are normally signposts around to point you in the right direction. If that isn't your cup of tea, you can stroll around and go into any open houses and see how different each one is. That's my technique, and brings me to another intriguing find. I'm fascinated by something our local guide tells us. She explains that this house is special because it has the same character, shou, meaning longevity, written in 100 different ways around the house. Try and find all 100. It's not that easy. There are many little dumpling dealers to be found, and I was intrigued. Plus, I was a little peckish by now. Okay, so I've been attracted to... I'm used to white jiaozi, but here we actually have green jiaozi, so it's sort of taken my fancy. I'm going to give it a go. It's got luobo in it, which is a type of a vegetable, I think. Luobo is a type of carrot. Pretty good, check it out. Anyway, come on, this way. Okay. Just settling into Wuyuan life. Plus, Chinese babies are arguably the cutest in the world. But maybe I'm just being a tiny little bit biased. The interesting thing about Cixi is that in fact it's more than just aesthetically pleasing. This whole village is an open museum, and by that I mean that anybody can come in to any of the houses at any point in time. That basically means that the whole village is geared towards tourism, and you can find tourist guides as young as 5 years old showing you around the streets that they know best. Here in Wuyuan, days of mowing the lawn or taking out the garbage to earn a bit of pocket money are long gone. Nope. In these entrepreneurial times, the kids of the village earn their weekend money by showing around tourists, delivering interesting anecdotes, citing facts, or showing you the best spots, whilst generally being top-notch tour guides. You may find it a bit strange being lectured by an 8-year-old, but if anything, it's extremely refreshing to see the depth of knowledge, as well as the pride which the kids of the village take in showing off their hometown. The price for one of these little tour guides is around 20 RMB, just cheaper than their adult counterparts. Remember, these kids are all from the village. This cute little bundle of energy is a show in himself, and in a way, exemplifies the ties between local tourism and daily life. The locals are used to mixing the two. So the child is reciting a segment from a famous Chinese ancient poem where the protagonist is expressing his sadness at the departure of his friends. The atmosphere of the house is fitting for the delivery of the poem, as you can almost touch the tradition in the air. Every house has a history and a different story to tell. There are around 100 homes in this village, so if you're into studying Chinese Hui architecture, then this is as good a place as any to visit. Crowds come and go, but if you've been brushing up on your Mandarin, you'll be able to eavesdrop onto a free explanation of the house from the owner. Once the crowd has scattered, the owner and house return to their tranquil state. I'm not going to be the one to disturb it again. Lose yourself in the narrow alleyways. Try opening doors, because if it opens, then you're allowed to visit whatever is inside. Visiting the village in this way can help you uncover some more quiet spots away from the standard tour guide routes. This little fella is obviously so used to people coming in and out, he doesn't remotely register or care to register my arrival. What a wonderfully friendly and irresponsible dog. Can't really see him being able to guard much. With so many things to see there, you might want to stay overnight, and sushi is totally catered for in terms of tourist facilities. Expect the prices here to be slightly higher though than the family hotels for food and accommodation, as sushi is one of the most prominent tourist spots in Wuyuan. One of our tour guides is adamant that genuine rural life can be experienced at her remote village, so we head there next. And in all honesty, she's not wrong. Above all, it's just so peaceful. You couldn't feel further removed from the hustle and bustle of the big cities. Now, I can't really give you exact directions to the village of Shimen, but I do know it's near the moon-shaped bay. Not much help, really.